Thanks to Steve for asking me to do this, and really happy to be here. I loved the people in the open mic. Just want to say, give them some love. And uh, Robbie, I really liked your watermelon poem, and I maybe wonder if you are familiar with yellow watermelons. There are a lot of people these days never heard of yellow watermelons. You do, Okay, great, you're nodding. Um, so some people look at me like I'm crazy when I mention yellow watermelons, but I grew up in Texas, so you know, uh, and the slam thing. I mean, I like slam, and I had a great time doing it, and but it just is not as important. I think well, the winning and losing is not important. Doing it and making friends. I got a bunch of friends that are more like family from slamming, and got to know a bunch of people and got my work out there. So that's fun. I should do a poem. I'm just going to sit here and talk for 20 minutes now. Um, I have to say, I'm super excited that Ellen Maybe is in the house. Oh my God, I'm doing backflips, and I hope that I can stay long enough to hear you read if you're going to read. No pressure, but I'll just cry myself to sleep if I don't get to hear you read, Ellen. So, yeah, a poem. The day twisted inside its 24-hour skin on its afternoon evening bones, like a lost word or a fragmented memory must, in its incompleteness, remind itself of its own stray dog, stone and shoe existence, happening in an odd jittery dance, hopping on a stench-dappled corner, random comment of a mad derelict making your brief walk for a coffee or a movie, another consideration of the multiple fucked up unfolding of this 50-cent city drama, concrete comedy, sack of bones and blood and breath, wafting itself along in jagged shuffle, just out of your view, the grimy hand outstretched for coin. The fingers you don't want to touch, and it's there, right there, that little song inside that says, what of that one? What storybook left out in the rain? The colors blur, the pages stick together, swollen and steaming in the sun. It was. Sing-song's a bum on a balcony, breaking the starched afternoon boredom with his booze, breathed, bellowing, brandishing his bottle like a glassy, glinting banner, and the normal people in the shops, on the buses, seem less real, more remote, methodically chopping off pieces of themselves according to an agreed upon plan. 4 walls, 3 meals, 2 weeks vacation, disposable income, entertainment. And I know enough of that bargain ballad that sighs and chases its tail. And I was too slow to stop the pipe fight in the hallway, kid with his face split open, blood splattered everywhere. And this is just one day, writhing on its rack of sky and sunlight, my bones cracking like ice cubes popping out of their tray in this crazed arena as I dodge the mire of bitterness. You can toss me in the lake, but you can't make me drink. And my girlfriend says, I just want to know where I'm going with my life. And she's going where this whole parade is headed. Lemmings an apt metaphor, though they are less noisy and self-involved than all of us. And the evening shakes like a great wet bear, spraying stars into the gloaming blue, and the sun reaches a finger in an improbable curve through the clouds and over the hip of nighttime. And there in the day's departing spotlight, a dragonfly, vibrating, drinking up enough heat and light to last till dawn. Wings shimmer and flick. He has eyes and guts and breath and legs. His heart pounding, pounding, pounding. Tiny engine, better than the ocean in his blue-black armor. And if I can draw breath in the sun's next gaudy, big-thighed arrival, I will scan the air for him tomorrow. Thank you. And if anyone's saying anything about me in the chat, I'm sorry for whatever it was I did. But no, I can't simultaneously look at the chat and do a reading. So I'm gonna have to look at that later. I forget there's a chat because I'm old, right? There'll be like 82 comments. I'll be in a Zoom meeting, there'll be 82 comments, and like I will have missed all kinds of opportunities because people think I'm uninterested because I don't respond or whatever. Anyway, chat. I want to that was an older poem. I want to do something that I wrote last year, which is recent for me, during the 30 for 30. And, I realized that over the years, I've had a lot of poems, which I get a fragment of it will come to me in a dream. And then I'll start writing and more of it will come back. And sometimes stuff just makes itself up. But this one started in a dream. I dreamt a bat last night. Fruit bat, fox bat, huge, luminous eyes, twin liquescent moons pulling in and transforming and returning the available light, amplified waves of particles cresting and ebbing as he slowly blinked. Shadow, light, shadow, light. Hanging upside down, he was in the rosebush in my parents' front yard. The house on Lemon Avenue, reduced to but a bit player, backup singer in this dream starring bat, black, brown, big as a beagle, as he opened his bright planets to consider me and the child by my side, now urgent and frightened that this bat was clearly considering us. Close enough to touch, he was solemn, full of portent, wonder, and wisdom. He pushed away from his cave of yellow roses, taking wing right towards us, dipping a bit, causing us to crouch and one of us to scream. Which one, I couldn't tell, though I trust in most children to be braver than me. And we turned to watch as he looped slowly over the busy one-way street, catching wind, flapping slowly as he shook and stretched his hot machinery of flight, and he floated casually, skimming the treetops as they filled with shadow down the hill towards Turtle Creek, green, eddy, slow, moving, clop and thrum of frog and chicharra, claves and woodblock, sonic shimmer. And we stood silently, holding hands, watching him drift into deepening dusk. So I've got a set list. I'll show it to you just for shits and giggles, but this is what my set list looks like tonight. So sometimes I stick to it and sometimes I don't. I think I'm going to keep going because I kind of like, there's an animal theme that's happening. The first poem had a dragonfly and then there was the bat. And I got a thing for blue jays. I have blue jays. This is called First Five. A secret of blue jays scouring the bright morning, sky clean of crows for once. 6 turquoise fans, upflung blue blades skimming the hot April air. War song, joy song, harsh spring melody, song of winter gone, rough handful of song. Dip and swooping, I guess, first 5, then one more, so many. Layers of strident avian jazz dancing up and through summer's hot green corridors again. I live in Minnesota now, and when spring starts to come, you clutch, you claw at it, you try to grab it and hold it, like you try to, suck it down and just wrap it around you. Doesn't always work that way, but I'm gonna keep going with my set list. Next on the set list, what does it say? It says dog poem. Dog poem. I was talking about my dog earlier, and he is a wonderful beast, incredibly ridiculous and silly. He's about 100 pounds, and he's a mix of boxer and uh, Staffordshire Terrier and something we don't know, could be Mastiff. Anyway, he's just like a big uh, bundle of muscle, and but he like the sparrows scare him, like intimidate him sometimes. He's scared of gates, like like toddler gates, terrified of those. Anyway, I think I gave this a title at some point, but it's not in this particular file. On our walk, cool dawn, casual sun stretching its muscles like an old cat. Black dog watches at the end of his leash. Purple flowers push through patches of snow. Ancient April conversations. A crow, no blacker than the dog, lights in our path, unhurriedly plucks a something from a puddle. Now every molecule of dog is bent towards crow. Ancient dialogue, haggled bargain of meat and bone. Paw push, weighing off spot, quick snap, and dog choose what crow dropped. I stop and pull open his puddle wet jaws, gray necrotic chunk extracted and tossed. The dog watches me calmly, instantly calculating the location of and distance to his stolen prize. Mathematics of weight and muscle and pulling, ancient as sure as sharks and mammoths, hunger and hunt, summer and heartache. Decides to let it go, knows he will be fed and watered this early morning. And as we turn up the driveway, we both glance up at the black blade of crow circling back. Thank you. Thank you. He's snoring on the couch right now. Oh, the joy of animals. Okay. I'm going to read this. I never set, right? I think you do poems and you hope the audience likes them, and then you do, I think, at least one poem just for yourself because you want to do it. And maybe it's not the best poem. And I'm not trying to say this isn't a good poem. I'm just saying, whatever the reason, just this is self-motivation. And this is a love poem. Love in the time of COVID. I don't know. Awake from another hot dream of you. Heat that ravels and unfurls in the blue arms of darkness. And you are there, face close to mine. This dream that arches its back, green spine of summer, flowers red, feline pink, red, deep pink petals, white petals, pale violet, small delicate tongues of nightingales can spin their diminutive wheels of song. And in the singing, fling up dreams like music a simmer, afloat through these azure wings that carry me into these oceans of deep trees. I will be no spear, no hammer, but a song on a breeze that finds you at dusk, a rising tumble of melody from a blue place of wonder, full of portent. Nothing that is wisdom would keep us apart, would stop this dizzy geometry, hot peregrination of the one to make one. Nothing that is truth could come between bow and strings, between caught breath and empty flute, cupped hand and taut drum skin. As even in dreams I see your face, your laugh, your mouth as it opens on mine. Garden of song, fields of music, ocean of song, sky full of music. And then there's a coda. Oh, thank you. And then there's a coda. I will be the one singing a song to you, even when you're not there. Maybe to an empty room, off night karaoke, to the bartender and the cut waitress, having one at the bar, and the four friends talking in the corner. And it's gonna take me a second to get back to the other little file. I want to end with this one. I want to say it's been great. Uh, and I was told that people want to ask questions sometimes after the feature, and I'm up for that. Totally cool. So this is my last poem. I hope I'm not too far over the time limit. Probably talk too much, like I always do. And I really think one of the cool things about slam is that it brought performance to the forefront and made people perform in a lot of crazy ways, and to do poems with multiple voices, group poems. And I haven't slammed in years and years, but group poems to me are still fascinating. And so this is a poem I call, here's the whole title: Litany, poem for the living, the dead, and the yet to be born, to be performed by orchestra and multiple voices. Fragment 1. Welcome to a girl waking up with a mouthful of blood, prayer book of gritted sleep, fingers to lips considering blood maps, ancient litany of loss and need and movement. Fragment 2. A woman remembers girl and blood, salt and metal, considers random absence of a tooth, tongue pushed deep into empty. Fragment 3. This is the map of darkness, of darknesses, sextant of shadows to navigate this absence of light, a packet of invisible tattoos and diagrams to be used accordingly. Fragment 11. Things have gone missing, gone in the normal tangle and crush of minutia, wave after wave of slowness. Oh, for the drama of leviathans, operatic combat, and lavish exits. What endures is steadily caught between thumb and forefinger, casual erosion, fluttering book, wings of forgetting and loss. Fragment 13. The woman sits on a balcony. Of course she does. She plays a conga. It is a fountain of brightness. Of course it is. She smokes a cigar. In the smoke there are maps and hieroglyphs. She laughs at the idea that I could tell her story. Of course she does. Fragment 13. Ponder the woman again. All the maps are lost. There is a song that escapes memory. Fragment of shadow. Lluvia de sombras, sonrisa nublado, un baile pequeño, tambor azul, buscando momentos de agua verde, agua azul, agua palce de la alma, buscando milagros of laughter like bright flowers, garden of breaths caught and released, back into a river of possibilities. Fragment blue. On the edges of black, a persistent and encroaching blue. Blue bleed black and black to blue. Slow hands of dusk weaving shadows down to the bright horizon. Black of the blueness, halo of blue. Jagged outline of every smashed window, a mother's mouth flung wide to mourn. Sedimentary blue, foundational blue, intrinsic blue, generational blue, endemic blue, inherent blue, bone deep blue, integral molecular blue, a packet of as yet undiscovered blues to be used accordingly. Fragment green. Hear the green river, hear the wailing, hear the waiting, hear the hammering of blues, hear the flight of hope, hear the capture, the waiting, the cages, the waiting, the mesh, the metal, the bars, the doors, the cages, the glass window veined with wire, the cages, hear the litany of escape, hear the strategies, hear the rough sketches of hope, the preliminary diagrams of sleight of hand. There is a moment of inattention. Here is the path to an opening. Here is a way to breathe. Here the river, the blue dusk, the green river. Let us cross together. Fragment song. The woman teaches fire breathing. Each breath a lesson in burning. Each lesson a song. Each song a push back on that which would steal our breath. Each breath a spell to cast up the darkness. Blue-black magic, spinning darkness, filled with stars, to be used accordingly. Fragment shard. Fist of grief closed around her, implacable. It did not know she was a shard of flame, sharpened on stone, wetted with water, taught in fire to cut, to burn through any darkness. All this time, all this time. Fragment of ancient machinery, forgotten till just now. Pulleys and levers and bones, bulbs and switches and blood, wires and bamboo and hope, uncut stone full of dreams, the gathered materials of deconstruction, all the great lessons, comprehension of the complex, necessarily unavoidable to come here, at the ends of all available maps, on this shore, right here, and all these children chanting, "We are here, we are here. We have learned the lessons you suffered so much to teach us. You were taught to make fire. We are the flames themselves. Look what you have wrought. This was the destination of the blood hieroglyphs on her fingers in the middle of all those nights. It was a map to here, right here. We will not let you squander us." Thank you.